Right now, Dragon Ball is rotting away in some higher up's closet, but it still makes a lot of money. Of course, Dragon Ball is popular, so it's gonna sell a lot of merchandise and games, but where all the money's been coming from is the gacha games, Legends and Dokkan. These games are like money printers. They're asking you to pay money to gamble. You saw the title of the video, you know what this video is about. Dokkan Battle. Dokkan prints money, and Dokkan has a lot of people that play it, and Dokkan has a lot of problems, like being 20 gigabytes. What the fuck? You saw the thumbnail and the title of the video. It's the categories. Categories are a main gameplay mechanic in Dokkan. Characters are separated into categories, and you build teams off of categories. For example, this guy would be Majin Buu Saga, but he would also belong to the Super Saiyan and Pure Saiyans category, among a bunch of other stuff. Characters go into categories, characters lead categories, you build teams off of categories. If a character isn't on Majin Buu Saga, they can't go on a Majin Buu Saga team. It's pretty straightforward, right? No, straightforward and Dokkan don't belong in the same sentence. I want you to think about the strongest Goku you can think of. The strongest Goku as of the end of the Dragon Ball Super anime. Goku at his full power. You got it? You're probably thinking of this Goku, Mastered Ultra Instinct. This is Goku at his full power. According to Dokkan, no it's not, because Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku is not on full power. All three of them are not on full power. Why is this a problem? You build teams off of categories, and the game takes advantage of that. There are stages that require you to have certain characters of a certain category in order to do damage and tank damage. There are also missions that require you to have a full team of characters that belong to Majin Buu Saga or full power. By having this stuff be inconsistent, then you can't put characters that would belong to this team on this team because the game doesn't recognize that they're on the team. Back to UI Goku, for example. He's not on full power, so you can't put him on a full power team to do a mission that requires full power, even though he is full power. Because he's not on full power, he also doesn't have all-out struggle, which is just literal. It's characters that are going all out and struggling. That's two teams that Goku isn't on. So according to Dokkan, Goku was not only holding back against Jiren, but he also wasn't struggling. Thank you, Dokkan. Let's look at Teen Gohan. Not that Teen Gohan. This one. The Teen Gohan that fights against Broly is not on all-out struggle. You tell me whether or not you think Gohan is struggling. This makes even less sense to me than UI, because UI didn't have full power, so he didn't have all-out struggle. But Teen Gohan has full power, but he doesn't have all-out struggle. That don't make no sense. His name is also All-Out Super Attack Super Saiyan Gohan Teen. So why isn't he on all-out struggle if he's going all out and he's at full power fighting a guy that he's struggling against? Let's talk about something good. Well, actually, we have to talk about something bad before we talk about the good. Joined Forces is a category that is given to characters made up of, well, joined forces. It's Goku and Gohan, or Goku, Gohan, Trunks, or Vegeta and Trunks. Whenever these characters came out, they would only have categories that are shared between two characters. All the characters in the unit have to fit on a certain category for it to be added to the unit. For example, this Goku and Gohan card. Both of them do not fit on pure Saiyans because Gohan is a hybrid Saiyan, so they lose pure Saiyans and hybrid Saiyans, and they're just given Super Saiyans because both of them are Super Saiyans. This Goku, Gohan, and Trunks card follows the same logic. Gohan and Trunks are both hybrid Saiyans, but Goku is a pure Saiyan. Since all of them don't fit onto the same category, they just lose both of those categories. And that's stupid because they're getting dropped off of those teams, and the game is saying that actually they aren't half Saiyans or full Saiyans anymore. Now for the good part. Tag cards that were introduced during the 10th anniversary have categories that both characters fit onto. The 10th anniversary Vegito has Vegeta family, even though it starts off as Goku, and that's great. But speaking of the 10th anniversary Vegito, this character is not on Power Beyond Super Saiyan. Power Beyond Super Saiyan is a category that is literal in its name. It's characters that have attained a power beyond Super Saiyan, but just Super Saiyan. There's no Ultra Instinct or anything like that. It's Super Saiyan 2, 3, 4 Blue God. Daimagoku is a character who has the category Power Beyond Super Saiyan, but his card specifies that he's just Super Saiyan Goku. So why does he have this category? Because in his active skill, he has sparks. And in the fight that this active skill is sourced from, he goes Super Saiyan 2. So even though it appears for 2 seconds, the lightning means that Goku is Super Saiyan 2, which means he has power beyond Super Saiyan. This same logic is not applied to Tech Vegito. Tech Vegito doesn't have power beyond Super Saiyan, even though Goku has an attack called All Out Super Saiyan 3. My guess is that they didn't want Vegito getting the support from the GT Super Saiyan 3 Goku, so they just said fuck it. Earth Protecting Heroes is a category that could mean 90% of the game, but it also doesn't have 90% of the game on there. It could mean characters that are fighting to protect the Earth, but it doesn't make sense because future Gohan isn't on it. So it could mean characters that are fighting to protect the Earth and are successful in protecting it. But that also doesn't make sense because Sword of Hope Trunks is on here. The last thing I'll talk about is how sometimes the categories get translated weirdly, so they don't really represent the characters in the category. I'm not a Japanese genius or anything, so I'll only be talking about 2 categories. Daima, Goku, and Vegeta are on Time Travelers. So are a bunch of Dragon Ball Heroes characters and Bojack. That's weird, right? They don't travel through time. The category name in Japanese is
時空を超えし者
which can literally be translated to the one who transcends time and space. If we were to interpret this, I guess the category would be something more like space-time travelers. And that makes more sense for Daima, Goku, and Vegeta and the heroes characters. They travel dimensions and they go across space-time. Future Trunks basically does the same thing because multiverse theory. The whole DB saga is kind of misrepresented in its translation. DB saga makes it seem like the whole category is based on Dragon Ball. Basically everything before Raditz came to Earth. But in Japanese, it's not DB, it's Shonen. Teen boy, young man, Shonen Jump, that kind of thing. It's everything before Goku turns into an adult. That's why a character like 23rd World Tournament Goku isn't on DB Saga, despite being from Dragon Ball. This is kind of funny though, because characters from this era are put into this weird state where they just don't belong to a saga. The first category in the game is DB Saga, so it's everything when Goku is still a kid, and the very next saga is Saiyan Saga. Anyway, for a game that makes so much money, and a game that relies heavily on this mechanic, you'd think they would spend some of the money on, I don't know, making it better? But hey, things are easier said than done. I just wish they took more time to improve on categories instead of just leaving them out in the dust. If a character belongs to something but they're not on it, just add them to it. And I know they can do that because they do that every time they add a new category to the game. The thing I think would really improve the categories though, is an in-game explanation of the categories. So if you click on time travelers, it would explain like, yeah, this is this and this. Or you click on accelerated battle and they would be like, yep, this is this. Or maybe that's in the game already and I'm just dumb. It would give a lot more clarity for why someone like Ultra Instinct Goku isn't on full power. Because if we know what the devs are thinking, then it becomes a lot easier to understand why they made those choices. But if we're left out in the dark, then you make a video like this wondering why the full power Goku isn't on full power even though he is literally at his maximum strength. But yeah, that's it. Bye.
You could do the rump shaker, huh? The thug shaker. Give me the thug shaker, dude. Shake your